God, I'm sorry, bro. But no, we not drafted top. We not drafted tight ends in the first round, bro. We done.
I knew you was gonna say
We done.
it.
Cut it out, man. We not gonna let Brock Bowers change what has been the history of the NFL not getting it right when it comes to drafting tight ends, bro. Like the NFL has a problem, a draft evaluation with tight end problem. Like the history says that, the data says that, all the analytics say that the hit rate on a first round tight end is surprisingly very, very low. The reality is the best player or the best tight end doesn't come from the first round. The best tight end in that draft is normally not the first tight end drafted. History says that. In 2010, do you know who was drafted ahead of Rob Gronkowski? Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron. Ugh.
Oh shit, that's the name I haven't heard in years.
Listen,
years.
So here we go right here, man. I got you right now, man. I'm gonna go back to 2010. My bad. It wasn't Rob Gronkowski. It wasn't Eric Ebron. My apologies. It was Jermaine Gresham. So going back to 2010, these are the tight ends that were drafted in the first round. I want you to tell me who is unfortunately, Randy, I'm a Cowboys fan, and that one of the worst mistakes I ever made in my life, dog. Terrible decision on my part, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead. Hold on, let me get this ready on my end. Give me 1 second. Boom. And boom. Add the scene. All right, man. So I share this tab instead. I got a list of the first round tight ends going back to 2010. It could go back further, but we're going to start at 2010, bro. Jermaine Gresham, Tyler Eifert, Eric Ebron, David Njoku, Evan Ingram, O.J. Howard, Hayden Hurst, Noah Fant, T.J. Hockenson, Kyle Pitts, and Brock Bowers. We've had one star. We've had one star drafted in the first round.
Ooh, the history.
And that star got drafted last year.
That, man. Ooh,
that star got drafted last year. That star got drafted last year. This is from Shield Campania, dog, right here, bro. Let me see this here. Can you read that or no?
I can't read it, no. I can't see it. It's on my screen, it's a little small.
I got you. It says, in the last 10 years, 9 tight ends have been picked in the first round of the NFL draft. They've combined for 0 all-pro nods and 1 1,000-yard season, bro. One of the 9 got a second contract from the team that drafted him, dog. David Njoku. Woof. Woof.
So what you're telling me is that tight end is the position that always looks good and always ends up being complete shit. That's basically what you're telling me, man.
Yes, because tight end and the more I've done the research for this specific pod or specific topic, the more I realize that 1, tight ends are very underpaid. 2, tight ends might have the hardest job on the football field, definitely on offense. They have to be offensive tackles and they have to be wide receivers at the same time. And that's what happens. That's where the problem comes from. A lot of these dudes that are billed as can't miss, Eric Ebron, who was 10th overall, T.J. Hockenson, who I think was 8th overall. And T.J. Hockenson had a good career, but he got drafted by the Lions, and the Lions traded him to a division rival, the Minnesota Vikings. That's how little they give the fuck about him. That's how unscared they were about him.
Yeah, when they punch you to your division rival, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
Like, they don't give a fuck, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to you, Randy. Don't worry. I'm gonna get to you, my boy. It's hard because either you could do the blocking and not be good at the receiver side, or you could do the receiver side and not be good at the blocking side. And it's way more important for you to be a good blocker than a good receiver. I got 3 or 4 receivers out there. If you can't block, you can't run block, you can't pass block, it's hard to find snaps to have you out there, right? And if we know you can't block and you can only catch, then I could put a safety on you. Yeah, you become a tail.
Yeah.
So now I have to limit the amount of snaps that you could even be on the field. And that's why we have these situations, dog. So this is another list I have, right? This is showing by value the best tight end drafted in the year they were drafted. And again, we're going to start at 2010. The year that Jermaine Gresham got drafted, first tight end off the board, first ballot Hall of Famer Rob Gronkowski came in the second round. 2011, Kyle Rudolph, second round. Best tight end for that year. 2012, second round, Kobe Fleener. 2013, Travis Kelce was a third overall pick. I mean, third round pick, 63rd overall. That sucks.
That's crazy.
That sucks. Like, that hurts. That hurt, man. So you got the two best tight ends of their era, second and third round respectively. And let's keep going, man. Eric Ebron, and that's how bad it was. Eric Ebron was the best tight end in his draft class, nigga.
Yeah, who else was in that draft class?
2014 was disgusting. If Eric Ebron was the best, that was a bad draft, man. Woof. 2015, Darren Waller, bro, best tight end of his draft class, bro. Drafted in the 6th round, bro. 2017, Austin Hooper, 3rd round. 2017 in the 5th round, easily the 3rd best tight end in his generation, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, T.J. Hockenson again, Cody Kmet, Kyle Pitts. Woof, another bad one, man. 2021, man. Kyle Pitts is the best, man. It's rough. Woof. That's rough. So, and again, I'm not trying to shit on Tyler Warren. I'm not. But based on the history going back to past 9 drafts, the history says that these first round tight ends are more than likely not going to be the best tight ends that get drafted. So with that information, how do you feel, my boy? With that information that I just provided, my boy.
Well, look, Herbie, I brought up the Tyler Warren thing earlier because I said if he happens to fall, if he's on the board and the Dolphins draft him, listen, man, I wasn't going to be mad about it, Herbie, but the Dolphins do have other needs, right? We do have a need for offensive line. Hopefully Will Campbell might be there, Kelvin Banks Jr., but listening to what you said, it does have me thinking, and knowing the Dolphins, it's not even just what you said, Herbie. It's also the team that's drafting, the Dolphins. What are the odds the Dolphins are going to be the second team back-to-back to get a superstar tight end in the first round, which hasn't happened in, it seems like not in over 2 decades plus. Listen, if the Dolphins draft Tyler Warren, Herbie, I'll cross my fingers. How about that?
Oh, you had no choice. Hey, what else can you do?
Like, I cross my fingers.
What else can you do?
I cross my fingers and hope
what else can you do?
Hope that what I seen will translate to the NFL as good as I hope.
And trust me, I get it. I get it, dude. If you have a dominant tight end, you have the ultimate mismatch. Like, that's why they keep trying to find it. It's just the ultimate chess piece on offense. Every good offense has a good tight end. Like, that's not a coincidence. Every single good offense has a good tight end, or an effective offense, I should say, because the Chiefs are not always a good offense, but once it gets to the playoffs, they're very effective because they have a good tight end. But I just want the draft community to be honest and acknowledge that every guy can't be a can't miss prospect if everybody's a can't miss prospect. So, like,
well, let me ask you this, Herbie. Let me ask you this: Are you just objecting to drafting him in the first round period? Like, you don't even think he's a late first round pick?
No, I think he's awesome. I think he's special. I think he could be amazing. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, if you draft him in the first round, then he's gonna suck. This the football gods. This ain't got shit to do with me. Like, the football gods determined this, dog. I have nothing to do with this. Like, the football guys said, all right, we'll give y'all one, bro, so y'all can stop crying, bro. Here go Brock Bowers, bro. Here go one. You finally got a can't miss, bro. We finally got one. Here,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Herbie. You open the floodgates when you do that, right? Because now teams in the league see, oh, shit. So first round tight ends do work. So,
right.
Opens the floodgates.
Listen, you know how we feel about Chris Sims. We don't always agree, but we always respect his opinion and respect his honesty. Chris Sims is talking about there might be 3 first round tight ends because Brock Bowers really did open the floodgates, because Brock Bowers was the prince that was promised. It was supposed to be Eric Ebron. It was supposed to be Kyle Pitts, but they finally got one with Brock Bowers. Now everybody's saying, you see, this is why you need a great tight end. We know, we understand. Y'all just keep picking the wrong ones in the first round because y'all actually don't know how to identify the traits that matter. And history says that. All the stats say that. Everything that we've seen up until this point says that. Kyle Pitts was supposed to be the most can't miss prospect I've ever heard. They compared him to Calvin Johnson. That dude is, I'm not going to say trash, but woof. Absolutely, man. Copycat league, man. You feel me? And let me get to this one right here, bro. Kittle, the blueprint for blocking and catching. Absolute. He is the perfect tight end of the modern era. He is an elite blocker. He is an elite weapon in the backfield. He's an elite pass catcher, bro. They don't come on trees, but we keep pretending that they do. We just got to acknowledge that great tight ends, special tight ends, are way more rare than they are, and we don't know how to identify them. Because there's no way that a multi-time, probably going to be a first or second ballot Hall of Famer, George Kittle, went in the fifth rounder, right? So you can't tell me he got that much better. The film had to be consistent. We just don't. The draft community does not know how to identify what actually matters and how these guys are going to transition to the NFL. But they keep telling you that. They keep saying it's going to be this guy's this guy, he's the one. He's the one that's not going to miss, bro, and he misses. And they've been missing for 9 out of the past 10 years they've missed, bro. Let me get this right here, man. To homie Randy said, I know you're a Cowboys fan. How you feel about Joe Milton getting traded to y'all boys? You think, like Shady said, Dak need to get in touch with a realtor? Pitts ain't getting a second contract from us. That's cold, man. You don't want that black man to get a second contract, man. You a dirty down Falcons fan, man. That's messed up, man. That's cold, man. That's cold.
Hey, but you know what's funny about that though, Herbie? Every time, because we all keep up with the internet and how fans
for sure,
and how they are, right? Every time I see a Falcons fan talk about Kyle Pitts, I've never seen a Falcons fan be like, let's go Kyle Pitts. Never.
Man,
never in my life.
Man,
every Falcons fan I know hates this man, dog. They hate this man, Herbie. They hate this. You know what he reminds me of? Falcons fans remind me of my Ted Ginn days. I hated Ted Ginn Jr., Herbie.
Everybody got one, bro. Every fan base got that one player, man. And you know who my Kyle Pitts is, man? Dak Prescott, man. Yeah, that nigga need to find a realtor, nigga. Pack your bags, nigga. Pack your motherfucking bags. I'll pack them for you, nigga, free of charge. Get out of my life. Get out of my life. Nah, man, unfortunately, Dak is here for the long haul, man. That $60 million ain't coming off the books, man. So Joe Milton could kill it. Joe Milton must got the best PR team in the world, bro, because Joe Milton took whatever he did in that preseason, that last game that did not matter with the Bills had their third stringers, and he has stretched that into being the great Black Hope, bro. So shout out to Joe Milton, man. Round of applause for Joe Milton, man.
Round of applause.
Round of applause for Joe Milton, man.
Round of applause, man.
All right, man.